Rock Carter, head men's basketball coach, joins us today as WCPoets.com previews the 2010-2011 basketball season. Coach, thanks for taking some time out and joining us today. Let's look at your roster first and foremost. You have a relatively young squad with only 6 returners from last year's team. One of the key returners is all-conference performer Damon Perry. Talk a little bit about his leadership to this team.
Yeah, well, Damon is he's just definitely a coach's dream. He's been with us for 3 seasons. Last year was a breakout year. A little undersized for his position, but his toughness, his positioning, his strength is definitely his strong points to that position. So we expect a lot from Damon. He was a second-team all-conference performer last year, he's one of those guys that does those little intangibles for us. Statistically, he did a nice job rebounding, but he's a great passer from the high post. He can guard bigger posts as well, and we expect Damon to have a big impact on our success this season.
Another returner I know you're kind of expecting to have a big impact is Willie Niebel. Last year he averaged about 16 minutes a game. I'm sure those are going to increase this year. Just talk a little bit about what you expect from the sophomore.
Yeah, Willie came on strong last year towards the end of the year. Early in the season, he looked and played like a freshman, and as our season progressed, and he started our last 2 games for us. And our trip this summer, we had the opportunity to go to Costa Rica as a team. We took 10 players, and Willie really broke out during that time. So we're actually going to move Willie to a new position in which we worked out all summer at, and that's the point guard position. And he's really developed a better shot. He's definitely one of the smartest players that I've had here in quite some time in terms of reading defenses and understanding what we expect of him. So we think that Willie's going to do a great job at the point position. And the other night in our exhibition game against a Division II team, he actually led our team in rebounds. And that was something that he did a lot of last year, coming in off the bench. So he's very versatile. He's athletic. He's long enough to defend bigger players, but he's quick enough to defend some of the smaller guards in our conference. So we expect big things out of Willie, and he's really shown his leadership. And just the other day, he was nominated and picked by his teammates, and definitely supported by our coaches as our second captain, along with Damon. And he's only the second sophomore captain that I've had here in 16 years. And so, that's definitely a credit to his character and his knowledge and his belief in what we're trying to do here.
Now, before we talk about the rest of your roster, I just want to mention briefly your 4-year senior, Ricky Kamatsu. He is the only 4-year senior on this year's team, and just kind of what kind of leadership does he bring, having been with you for 4 seasons, understanding your philosophy, and just what he can bring to the new players?
Yeah, Ricky's done an outstanding job staying committed to our program. I know he's been in positions where he wasn't sure if he was going to see significant minutes for us, and he's really worked his way into to part of our early season rotation this year, and that's definitely a compliment to his effort, his attitude, and he's an outstanding student. He's a local guy, and he's friends with everybody on the roster. He carries himself very well, and he's a good player to have on your team. And like you said, as somebody who's we try to build this culture here at Whittier in terms of our men's basketball, and he's bought into it, and he does a great job bringing in our young guys. And this year, not only do we have a lot of youth on our team, but we have a number of transfers, and he and Damon have done a nice job being a good bridge for the old and the new coming in. So we're excited to have him. Right now he has not been selected a captain, but he definitely plays that role, and we include him in a lot of our team leadership meetings and things like that. Ricky's definitely involved in those.
Let's talk about some of these new players, fresh faces, transfers, first-year college students that are on this team. So who are some of these new guys that we should expect to see make an immediate impact?
Yeah, well, we have a number of them, and Greg Preer, a transfer from Cerritos, very versatile player. He could play 2, 3, 4 for us because of our lack of size this year, but he'll be a significant impact player for us. We have Paul Davis, another transfer from El Camino, and Nathan Easterman down from San Diego from Miramar JC. So he adds a little bit of strength, a little bit of length to our team in terms of his position. So those are 3 JC impact guys that we think are going to be good, and as well as Brandon Thomas, who's coming in as a complimentary player and a very, very good JC. He's actually turned into a very strong player for us as well. So we're excited about those four, and Bo Rodriguez kind of rounds out that group of transfers who wasn't a highly recruited player for us, but he comes in, had a great exhibition game the other night, coach's son, and knows how to get after it. And then our freshmen we're really excited about. We've added Tyree Landrum from Dorsey, who's athletic, a little bit green, a little bit raw, but he's going to develop into a great player, as well as Dylan Irwin. And then we have a point guard that we think could be our point guard of the future as well, in Tyler. So we're excited about our prospects, and this year we're excited about our team, and our future is very bright here as well.
So with such a young roster, what are your expectations for this season, and how do you see the team stacking up with the rest of the conference?
Yeah, I think that our biggest obstacle right now is just playing together, and we're not an excuse team, and hopefully by January, hopefully by the end of December, we can develop into being a pretty good basketball team. I think that we have some very good position players, but once they buy into our system and once they understand our system, I think we saw that the other night in our exhibition game to start out our season. We got off to a real slow start, and as they started developing a little bit more of a rhythm and the pace that we want to play at, we looked really good. So I think that our expectations. I mean, obviously, we're going to battle for a conference championship. Every night we go out there, that is what we're going to expect. Whether we get there or not, there's a lot of factors that are involved. But we're not going to use anything as an excuse. We've tried to build a culture. We're going to try to defend a little bit better this year, and we think if we can defend a little bit better, that we'll have a chance to be very competitive in the top 4 teams in our conference.
All right, well, the men's basketball team, they host West Coast Baptist on Saturday, November 20th to tip off their season. Coach, I want to thank you for taking some time out and joining us here today.
Thank you, Travis.